Hi, how are you? Look at this sled, y'all. I think you're gonna love this one. Come hang out just for a little while we make this super cute winter decor with one of our new transfers. This is the ice skating transfer. We're gonna use it tonight. And I just love this one. Look at all the detail on that. Okay, so I do have some cutouts that go with this. So I think you're gonna just absolutely love this one. And it's going to be an easy one. I know it looks like a lot, but I think it's going to be a lot easier than it looks. All right, here we go. All right. Hi, Sandra. How are you, love? Welcome. All right, keyword is sled. If you want to comment sled. Hi, Nicole. Hi, Stephanie. Hey, Tina. Welcome, lady. All right. Yeah, it's been storming here all day. Poor Dozer. Hi, Christine. How are you? I got your order earlier, and I will be filling that tomorrow for you. I'm going to just spray this big paintbrush with a little bit of water just to, well, I thought I was going to thin this out a little bit, but I guess not. Let me see if I can just do that right there in the lid. We'll see if that helps. This paint is kind of thick. I'm using this Java home decor chalk paint to paint my sled. Now, I do have, this is a layered sled, okay? So it gives it just a little bit of a dimensional look. And, well, I finally washed my, all of my squeegees and stuff last night. Now, all my brushes and everything I had already washed, but I am bad about letting my squeegees soak. So I've started putting them, like, I have a big Tupperware. Hi, Sylvia. How are you? Hi, Tammy. Hey, Shirley. Welcome. Hi, Brooke. Hey, Bob. Welcome, ladies. I'm real bad about just not cleaning my stuff right away, as I've told y'all many times. But I got a tip from one of my girlfriends, and I think it's an awesome one. So whenever I do take all of my tools and stuff into the kitchen to wash them, instead of scrubbing all of my like color trays and stuff, I drop them in this big Tupperware. Where is it? Oh gosh. In this thing. And I fill it with water. And then, now, again, I wash my brushes right away. I don't let them soak in there, okay? But I drop all of the squeegees and color trays and all that other stuff that's rubber into that Tupperware and just squirt a little Dawn dish soap in there. And then whenever I do go to wash them, it makes it super easy and everything just kind of falls off of it. I can even use like my dish brush and just kind of hit it just a little bit with a dish brush, and no mess, no scrubbing paint and paste and everything else off of my tools. Y'all, that saves my day. Okay, and then I can just set them on a towel there to dry. And then I let that thing dry out. It's dirty as sin. On the inside, it's got like little paint flecks and whatever. Hi, Beth. How are you? How are you doing? But then I just turn that upside down, let it dry, and then throw all of my stuff in there once it's all dry and bring it back in my room, and then I can just dump it back in the container over here. And that way I don't feel so guilty about not cleaning my stuff right away. I can do it like a dirty pot and let it soak, you know? And then that way, you know, I can just do it at my convenience, and I don't have to scrub them, y'all. It makes it so much easier. I'm doing wonderfully. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. Keyword is sled. So I have this kind of vintage looking door hanger sled and the ice skating transfer. So if you comment the word sled, you will get, isn't it a nice brown? I love this brown. I think it's perfect for this too. And I have a little bit, so for the second layer, so there's 2 layers to this thing, so it just gives it dimension. But for the top layer, I'm gonna use the same color, but then we'll do some accents with the tan, just so that it's not so blah, the same color, you know, repeated. But anyway, yeah, so that way I have less guilt about not cleaning my tools right away. But I still am not good about doing them every night. So I've pretty much gotten to the point where I get them all dirty because, y'all, doing a live every night, all of my stuff gets dirty pretty quick. So after about a week, I have no squeegees left. But I don't know if y'all knew this, but did you know that you can buy a 12-pack of mini squeegees on my website? Okay, so there's my sled. I think that looks pretty good. In the 40s. Oh my gosh. Wow. That's absolutely wild. But yeah, I know it's starting to cool down up there. It is. I say it's not cooling down here. It is cooling down here to like the low 90s. It's not quite so hot. It has been raining here all day long, which has been great because we went a really long time over the summer with no rain. And y'all, those trees are still in my backyard just laying there. And so this coming weekend, Chris is going to clean up the backyard, and we really desperately need to burn some of those trees. So I'm hoping we have like a water restriction right now. I don't know if there's a burn ban. I haven't looked, but I suppose I should look. But we don't dare to try and burn anything while it's been so dry, just because, you know, I do not need any more drama or nonsense in my life. We live in Conroe, which is north of Houston. So, north of Houston, north of the Woodlands, out kind of far from everything. But out in this really nice little neighborhood that is sort of country living. We have a bigger lot. It's about an acre that we live on, which is awesome. Our backyard is humongous. Dozer is loving it here. My little dog. I say little. He's a 70-pound Labradoodle. But it was raining so bad today that I didn't let him out except the one time in the morning. And so by the time Chris got home, usually he's good all day. But because I work from home, so I'm here with him. But when Chris got home, he was just begging to go out, y'all. And it had been storming so hard. Yeah, I'm sure you did think I would like to know that. Man, I'm jealous, that's for sure. Uh-oh. I have a little bit of an issue here, so let me... So anyway, when I did finally let Dozer out, y'all, he took off. Just running around like a little nut. Which is great. I love that for him. He's a wild man, for sure. He's still about 1.5 now. But... okay, so it comes with this bow and wreath. Okay, so we're going to paint the wreath green. And we'll do the bow red, of course. Oh, somehow I've made a mess here. I guess I dripped that as I picked it up a second ago. You know, I'm a mess. Okay, so we're going to use this Waverly. It's called Fern, okay? But yeah, Dozer went running around the yard, and I love it. Whenever he gets zoomies, it is too funny. It just cracks me up because he's so just like a little kid, and it makes my heart full, really. More than anything, it makes me so happy to see him so happy. And you know, it's a whole ordeal whenever it's raining and he needs to go outside because he's a Labradoodle, so he's a water dog. Does not want to come in from the water, but I stood out there with him. I got a towel and just waited for him to be done. And I was going to let him go and just do your thing, you know, get it out of you, because I knew he hadn't been outside all day, but he was real good. He ran around the yard one good time, all the way from, all the way along the whole fence line. Like, just like a nut, y'all. It's so funny. But anyways, ran around the yard and then came over, went to the bathroom real quick, and came right back in. I love having a puppy. It's so fun. Besides the chewing stuff, okay, so he's pretty good. He's got tons and tons of toys because he's a chewer. And he doesn't chew really a lot. Like, he doesn't chew up shoes and stuff, but he is a little thief. Okay, so we have a decent-sized pantry, and it has a door on it, and so we just leave the door open all the time. And he started stealing water bottles out of there off the floor. and taking off with them and taking them outside and just chewing them until the water comes out. I'm sure that's very fun for him. But then I have water bottles strewn throughout my backyard. So had to put an end to that and close and keep the pantry closed. And of course, bathroom trash is his favorite thing to get into, which is really fun to have all that kind of stuff strewn all over the floor in every room. So we got to be careful to make sure that we keep our bedroom closed and all the doors. He loves to go in the guest room and throw himself up on the bed sometimes just randomly. So I have to keep that door closed too, which he's hypoallergenic, but I'm really good about, I wash the blankets before anybody ever comes over. So just in case he ever got in there, but Chris and I both are pretty good about keeping that door closed. Just because he likes to go in there. He's a little sock thief. Like, I don't know how he'll take a sock and just take off with it. Luckily, he hasn't, like, taken anything that's too valuable. Many pairs of scissors. He loves to chew up scissors. He actually stole my housekeeper's grout brush one time. Oh, my gosh. Yeah, oh my God, the whole arm. So I actually had a dog, whenever I got my Schnauzer, Ashes, a million years ago. Okay, so here's my wreath and my bow. Okay, so I'm going to just set that over to the side over here, and then we can start on the cutouts for the ice skating rink. But yeah, I had a dog one time that chewed our couch, like the whole arm of the couch off, just like that. He was a good boy, but man, and then he instigated, my Schnauzer to, like, dig through a wall at my apartment. Oh my God, y'all, that apartment, that poor landlord. I was horrible there. I mean, it was really, really bad. But yeah, Ashes and Tyson they dug through a wall one time, and that was horrible. Absolutely horrifying. And then, you know, having to, like, move out and have them come and do the inspection. I was just mortified. Like, I know I owe y'all money. I'll just pay you. Yeah, he loves the water bottles. I think he likes that sound, the, like, crumply noise, you know, that a bottle makes. Let me see. Let me read the rest of this, oh, yeah. He'll chew it until it's flattened out, but he loves the crinkle noises. So most of his toys, the fluffy ones, have the crinkle stuff on the inside. And he loves that. He loves a good squeaker. He's a good boy. Try to keep him entertained as much as possible with as many toys around here as possible. He loves to fetch. But he is a little thief. I mean, you got to really keep an eye on your stuff. And whenever we went to the beach, my niece had her socks there, like, on the floor next to her. She had taken them off in the living room. And I'm like, you need to take these socks and get them out of here, because you're going to be missing one or both of them, and you'll never find them. I don't know where they'll go, but they'll be gone. Okay, so I have a sled that I already painted. This is the ice skating transfer. Okay, we're going to use that on the little vintage sled that I have. And we're going to pull that sled back out here in just a second and get some definition going on it as soon as we get these painted. So I'm just using, by the way, I'm using this oatmeal color on these cutouts, and it's hard to tell, I can see on the video, but they are painted. I'm only probably going to do one layer. I like this color. I really do. So I thought I'd do all of the cutouts. I think it'll be a great contrast up against the brown of the sled. I think it'll be great. Hello, little yellow house creations. Welcome. All right, so let's see if I can. There we go. All right. Try to get less paint on my makeup sponge so that I can not glob this paint all over the place, because I just hate that. So I am, if you're new here, I'm using a makeup sponge like this, okay? I love these. Hi, Jen. How are you? Yeah, he loves squeakers. Oh my goodness. So, but he kills them pretty much immediately. There are a few toys that we've had since he was a baby, like itty bitty. But those are quickly, so they disappear and they reappear. It's kind of funny. At our old house, I don't know where all of his toys had went because they were gone. And then all of a sudden they reappeared towards the end whenever we were moving, which is funny. It's like he had them hid. Well, hopefully, maybe you will get some inspiration from this one, Anita. But yeah, his toys reappeared. It was like he was hiding them away, and then he knew, like, oh, we're leaving, so I need to dig all my toys out from, probably, they were, I would imagine they were probably under my shed, maybe under the couches. I did find some under the couches whenever we moved, because, you know, I left my furniture there, so we had to, like, move stuff around to, it was very strange, leaving all my furniture there. Y'all, that was the strangest thing I've ever done. I felt like I was forgetting stuff, because I left everything in the kitchen cabinets, and, like, all of the sheets and blankets and everything. Everything stayed in that house. It was amazing. Yeah, under the couch is a good one. Now, the couch that we have now, stuff doesn't slide under there that easily because it's a little bit more low profile. Okay, so that's the color I used, okay? It's just kind of like an oatmeal. It is called oatmeal, but it is like an oatmeal color also. Okay, so here's the sled, the top part of the sled, okay? Now, this is what I'm thinking, and I might be crazy, but let me see. I thought I had... Yes. Okay, so this is called Antique Linen, okay? This is Distressing Ink. Hi, Marie. How are you, love? Welcome. And I'm hoping that I can use this on here and it'll look good. Now, oh, I don't know if that's going to be white enough. Let's see. It's not really. That's kind of weird. It says Antique Linen, and it looks like it's a whitish, but it's not really white. But I do have this white ink pad, okay? Now, I don't want to go too crazy with this, but I do want to give it a shot. Okay, yeah, I think that's going to be good. So I'm just tapping it with one of my little dillies, okay? And then I kind of want to go around the edges of this thing too with, I've seen people use the white distressing ink and I'm really intrigued by it. Now, you do want to blend it, okay, because you don't want it to be too, like this little daughter thing is great, but it does leave an actual like rounded dot. So just make sure that while it's still wet that you kind of smooth that out a little bit, but I think this is going to be good. So along these little lines, kind of just blend. And of course, it doesn't have to be perfect. Not going for perfection, just a little bit of a kind of worn look. Isn't it nice? Hi, Kathy. How are you, love? Welcome. Thanks for joining me. Okay, so kind of going around the edges there, okay? And then I saw this the other day and I thought it was so genius, okay? So on a darker, that's what we've got so far, okay? So on a darker piece, you can actually just like kind of go on the edges with the white. And I never would have even thought of that. I saw a friend do it and I'm like, ah, that's genius. So I didn't even know that they made, well, I mean, this is, I think, just an ink pad, like an ink. This one is called Hero Hues, okay? And it's just an ink pad for paper crafting, like a stamp pad. But it's so smart, okay, to line your white stuff or your dark stuff with the white when you use the dark for white stuff. I'm like, okay, that's, people are so smart. I would have never thought of it, but okay, I'm here now. I'm caught up, you know? Okay, so there's my kind of backwards distressed, I guess you could say, sled. Okay, so that's the top part of it. Let me just clean up my area really quick so that we can make some room here. Now, again, you can comment the word sled and get the link for all this. Now I've got this brown paint all over the place too. I'm just a nightmare over here, dripping this paint everywhere. This carpet's gonna have to come out when I move out of this room, I'm telling you. It is a mess. Okay, so we've got that one piece here, all right? And then we have these other pieces too. And this wreath, you'll notice, has some little dots on it that are scored on there. So we're gonna have to add some little berries, okay? And I plan on using, I didn't pull it out unfortunately, but let me grab it. There's Dozer, say hey to him. We're gonna use a Posca pen, okay, for the berries because that's the easiest way. And I think I'm gonna let this one dry just a little bit longer while we work on our cutouts, okay? So I'm gonna just pull all of these off of here and just be gentle when you do it, especially if your tape is new. I just replaced my tape tonight on this and you don't wanna break any of these pieces. Some of them are kind of fragile, okay? I'm sure if he could talk, he'd say, hey, you know, every time that he's talking to me, he likes to stand there and kind of do this like pretend bark whenever he wants me to do something for him, which I refuse to actually respond to him because you're not going to just stand there and bark in my face. But when he wants something, he likes to bark at me. And so I tell him, you know, use your words because one of these days he's going to talk like a real person, the person that he is. I can just tell, I can feel it, you know. I wish he would. All right, so I don't think, I'm not going to wax any of these pieces, okay, because they're all pretty small and I want my transfer to stick really nicely to them, okay? So let's just begin at the top. So here's the transfer one more time, sorry. Okay. And we are going to fuzz really well, okay? But let's just get all these pieces laid out so that I know what I'm dealing with here. Okay, there's the Winter Park part. And I know it's a lot of pieces, but it'll be okay. We're going to make it through this together. Now, I am using my light. That will help me line it up. And I'm going to go ahead and fuzz the whole transfer, okay? Add a little bit of lint to it. But I'm not waxing my pieces, okay? Just because I really don't think it's all that necessary. Pretty sure that we can get by without it, okay? And here we go. So we're just gonna do the one word at a time on this Winter Park part. Now these transfers are, a lot of them are really thin, so it makes it easier to set them down. and actually be able to see through them. But I still do like using a light just to help me make sure that I'm nice and centered. So this is Shimmer Shadow. Okay, it's a black with some shimmer in it. And I think this will be perfect for this project to stand out nicely, plus also have just that little bit of shimmer. Okay, so there's the word winter. And then we're going to do park over here. Let's see if I need my light for this one. It was pretty easy a second ago to line that up. Okay, there we go. Not so bad. A light background also helps, okay, whenever you're trying to put these transfers on. The real thin ones like this that are see-through, if you have like the transfer backer sheet, you can use that underneath and it'll help you. Okay, so there's the word park. Now, I love that there's a bunch of different fonts on here. I think that's great. I probably could have made this all one piece, but I thought, you know, I like it. The letters are nice and spaced apart, and I feel like it would consume the whole thing if I combined them into one single piece. So I did keep them separate. Hopefully that's not too much of a pain. So I'm down about 19 pounds as of yesterday. So there's the eye. I have been trying really hard since the summertime, the end of June. I really started trying. Hi, Alma. How are you, love? And yeah, I can see it too. Whenever I watch the replays, I can see it. My shorts are getting looser. My shirts are fitting better. So I'm hoping I really want to be down about 60 more pounds. And that'll be the weight that I was like a million years ago. But yeah, that's my goal. I would love that. And just, you know, not feel fat and tired and ugly. Not that I do, but it's just like, I don't know. You know, you're self-conscious and most critical of your own self. Now, what's the worst part for me is I don't like people taking photos of me. Okay. Hi, Joanne. How are ya? Welcome. I really hate people taking pictures of me because I'm very self-conscious and I'm not photogenic at this weight. And so I can take a selfie and look great, but take a picture of me and it's not great. Yes, I absolutely am, Alma. I'm trying to my hardest. So yeah, I'm actually doing semi-glue-tied, those shots. Because I've tried everything and I just couldn't not be hungry. Y'all, I wanted to like eat everything in this house all the time. And so it's working really well for me. So I'm actually going to see my doctor, my regular, like to go get my physical, in a couple of weeks. And I always hate going to see him because I've seen him my whole life, and now I'm back. My insurance, he accepts my insurance, thank God. So that's awesome, but I am not looking forward to him telling me that I'm too big, okay? Because every single time that I've ever gone to see him, whenever I'm overweight, he tells me, and in a sweet way, okay, he's very kind. But I want to be able to go to him next year and be down a ton of weight and have him like high five me. Semi-glue dyed. It's a huge thing. People are doing it. There's several different brands of it, but Ozempic is one. And then there's Mongiorno. It's the same thing. But it's working really great for me, so I'm going to keep at it. And I have changed my eating habits, of course. And I don't eat, I eat like a quarter of what I was eating, which is scary because, you know, the amount of food I was consuming, even good food, like, good for you food is not good in huge quantities, you know? And so, anywho, yeah, that's what I'm doing. But hopefully you guys can not judge me for that, for doing a medicine instead of just dieting and working out because, oops. I did Weight Watchers for a long time and followed it. And that's what really bugs me is that I followed it like to the T, like in the last, I don't know, last year and the year before. I was doing Weight Watchers and y'all, I could not lose a pound. And then I'm on these Facebook groups with these other women and people's suggestions are, well, maybe you need to have a cheat day. And it's like to like kickstart your metabolism. And I think that is so, that just irritates me because I'm like, okay, well, I'm not going to lose weight by having a cheat day, I don't think, you know? And then you just get down on yourself and then you do have a cheat day and every day is a cheat day then. And so now I don't have to feel that way. I don't have to feel like I'm starving because I'm not. Darn it. And it helps with cravings and stuff too, which is awesome. All right, so we're almost done with this word. Y'all, there's a lot of letters here, but that's okay. We'll be fine. Thinking that might be upside down. All right. Yeah. I feel like mine always has been, and like my brother was always so skinny. And I mean, he would eat like a horse, y'all. Whenever we were kids, and even as an adult, he would just eat everything in sight. And was always so thin. And still today, he's got like the metabolism. And his son is the same way. And his daughter is the same way right now. Hopefully his daughter will stay that way too, but I'm sure his son will always be that way as well. And I've always struggled with my weight, so. But I mean, I have gotten really thin whenever I was in high school. I had a friend that was doing Weight Watchers and I was actually already pretty thin. I got down really low. And I went to one of the Weight Watchers meetings with my friend, you know, like to support her. And I was going to join just to like maintain or whatever. And the lady said that I couldn't join because I was too thin. Which at my height, I'm like 5'10". And I am 5'10". I'm not like 5'10". I am 5'10". And I was 135 pounds, y'all. I was so skinny in high school. And I don't know how, because I didn't work out. I didn't do anything. It wasn't anything that I was doing, except, I don't know, maybe the only thing I could figure is like me and my friends walked around the neighborhood a lot. You know, like I had a friend that lived like right down the street. And so I would walk to her house every day. And then we would go walk the neighborhood and things like that. And so maybe that was it, but I was so skinny. And then through my 20s, I was pretty thin too. And I look back on pictures and I'm like, you know, I wasted that time in my life. I did not respect it enough because now I'm like hating it that, you know, I want to be able to wear a bikini and all that kind of stuff and feel good about it. And so I'm going to get there, telling you what. Okay. There's Dozer. He's coming to find out what we're doing. I do have the baby gate up though, so he can't come in here because there's too much stuff in here that he can get into. All over the floor there's stuff. He does, so whenever I was still at my old house in Tennessee, I was unpacking a chalk box one day, and I dropped a jar of paste on the ground, y'all, and I have never seen anybody move so fast, but that dog grabbed that jar of paste in his mouth like he was going to take off with it, and I'm just like, oh no. Okay, so there's the word skate. I kind of went over a little bit too far on it, but that's okay. Where are my rentals? Okay. Yeah, he grabbed that jar of paste like it was a ball. And I'm like, oh no, honey. You better give it up. So now I gotta be real careful about craft supplies and him. But even in my office, he comes in there and he lays on the floor next door in my office while I'm working during the day. And whenever I cut things, sometimes I'll drop a little piece of wood on the floor from cuts that I've made. So there's the word rentals. And he will find those little pieces of wood that I've dropped on the floor and chew them to bits. And he's real sneaky. Like, he will sit there and, like, he'll chew like that and try to hide that he's chewing on something. But I can see you, and I can hear you, and I know what you're doing. I'm your mother. But it's just, it cracks me up how he's so sneaky. Or he thinks he is, anyway. He usually gives himself away. Thank God I made this one piece, but it's kind of difficult to line up with it being across the bottom like that. So there is one other piece at the bottom besides the skates. Okay, so the skates count too, but there's one other piece, and I'm going to go ahead and chalk it, but I don't know if I'm going to actually use it on this set of cutouts because it's kind of a funky shape. Uh-oh. So be careful whenever you're pulling this one apart because I just broke that in half, but it's okay. It's not damaged. It's just, it was one piece because it's just barely hanging on to each other. He loves to chew on wood, so he loves having a stick. All the time outside, he finds a fresh stick to eat. And he'll just lay out there and eat wood. Like firewood. Like, he drug a whole huge log over near the back porch to eat several weeks ago. And he's just been slowly... He'll go out there and lay there in the grass and eat wood. I just crack up at it because it's like, you know, you are so goofy, kid. But now that we've got all this fallen trees in my backyard, y'all, it's like his heaven, okay? These huge limbs, and he will, of course, grab the biggest stick possible and drag it around the yard. And, like, when the kids are here and stuff, I have to make him put it down because he's going to hurt somebody. Right, because he will run around with a huge stick in his mouth. Just excited as heck. Okay, those are super cute. Look at those. Okay, so now I am going to do this last piece on the bottom, but I don't know if I'm going to use it on this project or not. But I'm going to go ahead and do it because why not? If you got it, chalk it. Chalk them if you got them, right? Okay. Okay, so put that on there. And good thing this is another big piece. Anywho, so yeah, he loves chewing on wood. I don't know what that's about, but hopefully he's growing up though. You can tell that he's maturing And he's not so much a puppy anymore, but occasionally he'll still chase his tail. Anybody else have a dog that chases their tail? Because that is the funniest thing I've ever seen. I've never had a dog that did that. And I just laugh so hard whenever he gets going, because it's just like he sees it wagging and he's like, oh, I see that. I'm going to try and get it. Isn't the manger thing great? I know, 2 days and it'll be here. It'll be on my website, available. So I hope y'all are ready to get that, because I think that thing's probably going to sell out. I know. And then there's some other new things coming too that I saw a few little sneaky peeks of closer to the end of the month. But they're releasing that, the manger set right away on the 5th, which I didn't even know that we were having a launch this month, y'all. I had no idea. So it was a surprise to me whenever I saw that. So I'm going to let those dry. We can actually dry them here in a minute a little bit more, but I'm going to use my red Posca marker and fill in my little berries here. Okay, just color those in just like that. I didn't do separate cutouts for these this time because I figured I could use a paint pen. And if y'all haven't gotten any Posca pens, I don't know if they're still on sale at Joann's, but I bet you they probably are. Go swing over there online and go grab you some. They were at a great discount. I bought them. I bought every set that they had because I love them. So there's my Posca paint pen, little berries. Those pens are the best, y'all. I don't know what I was doing before trying to paint stuff on with a paintbrush. My gosh. Okay, yeah, I love them too. And I didn't expect to like the little smaller tip ones, because I like the medium point ones, but the fine point ones I don't have a use for most of the time. But those ones that I got, I really love them. Okay, now I'm gonna just dry this really fast along the edges where I've got a little bit extra paint. Make sure that it's really good and dry before we start putting this whole thing together. And as always, we're going to set everything first and then glue, okay, just to make sure that we have our placement correct. And as you notice, that transfer is landscape, but this is not. So we're going to have, that's also why I did the letters separately and stuff, so that I could make sure that I was going to be able to fit all of that on here, the whole transfer. Okay, so first things first. Where am I? Oh, here we go. Trying to find this part of my sled, okay? Oh, that's just perfection, y'all. I love it already. Okay, so let's also give this thing a little dry. Make sure those berries don't get smeared. Excuse me. All right. So that is going to go right up here with the bow. And then I think this is all dry. Oh my goodness. The glitter is amazing. Oh, I'm going to put this like this. And then I'm going to line up in the middle first. Now, I noticed that I could space out the letters just a little bit more if I hung them over the edge. So that's what I'm going to do. And I want this to be straight, so let me pull this down just a little bit so that we can do Winter Park above that. Okay. And then we have the skate rentals. And then rent by the day or rent by the hour is gonna go down here. Now this part is kind of funky and I should have cut that part off, but I think I'm gonna leave that off of here and just do the skate rentals, rent by the day and by the hour. And then, y'all, these skates are so stinking cute. Those are gonna go from the top, okay? Just like up there somewhere. So then all of this I think is pretty good. So let's begin right at the beginning. Just a little bit of glue on our bow. I like to start on our top layer and work my way down. That way I can make sure that everything is in its place. I do want to grab my white paint pen because I think I'm going to help this bow just a little bit. Add a little bit of pop on the center of the bow maybe. We'll see what we're going to do with that. There's Dozer at the door. What are you doing, Mom? Are you almost done? And y'all, it sounds like Chris started a little laundry. I don't know if it's his work clothes or our clothes, but bless that man's heart. Okay. And then a little bit of glue on that G right there. I know, Dozy. On the skate rentals. We're almost there. So make sure that you comment the word sled to get the link to make all this stuff. And you can also follow me. Make sure that you share this post. And don't forget to sign up for text alerts, message alerts, excuse me, whenever I go live. Okay, so there's that top part. Now I'm just going to be able to glue this entire thing on, okay? So I'm gonna use quite a lot of glue there. And set this sucker down. And then just like that. Y'all, this looks so good. I'm loving these colors too. Look how good that looks. It's perfect. I did kind of come a little too close on the S here, but that's okay. All right, now instead of, I'm not going to glue this the wreath to this top part up here. I'm going to glue it to the center part down there because then it won't be kind of cockeyed. It'll be sitting straight. Okay, but before I do that, I want to see if I can just do a few little, I just love the look of adding just that little bit. I feel like helps so much. So give that a try. If you're not already adding little accents with paint pens. I need a new glue stick. Okay. And then of course my little skates, and again, I'm going to glue them on down here and not up to the top. Okay, so it's just going to be that little part and maybe the other toe. Just like that. Y'all, this is just perfection. Look how cute this is. And this could absolutely be a little leaner and just lean like up against your fireplace or whatever. I am going to add a hanger to it. I love these leather pieces. Joanne. I'm sorry, my friend. I'm not that sorry, though. Unfortunately, I don't have a lot of pity because I'm there with you, okay? So if I'm there, I'm going to bring you with me. Okay, so again, I'm going to tie this, and then I am going to have to glue it on the back just so that it kind of helps stabilize it just a little bit. Let's see. There we go. Okay, and I don't want it to be super long, so I'm kind of tightening that up a little bit. But I don't want it to hit the bow either, so like the hanger, you know, whatever I'm hanging it. If I hang it from my door, I don't want that to be catching on that bow. Now I'm thinking I might want to add a little bit of glue just to help stabilize this up top. So let me do that real quick. I am going to do that because it's kind of flimsy. So just put a tiny bit of glue there in between so that that will stick. And went a little much with the glue. All right, now that's my little hanger. The holes are kind of big, so I am gonna just put a little bit of glue back here and hold that down till it sticks. And same on this one. Just a little bit. Should hold it, hopefully. Hi, Linda. How are you? Welcome. Well, I'm sorry, ladies, but I gotta do it to you. I keep on finding cute projects to do, and I can't stop, won't stop. It's not gonna stop anytime soon. I apologize, but again, we're in this together, you know? I know, the nativity kit is so cute, isn't it, Sylvia? I love it. Okay, so here we go. That is that. You got your little ice skating vintage sled door hanger for the holidays. Imagine what a perfect holiday gift this would be, a perfect hostess gift, whatever you want to give it for. Even like a white elephant, this would be awesome. I would love to get something like this. So make sure that you follow along. Come hang out with me tomorrow. Have some more fun stuff to show you. My craft box is out. We're going to do that tomorrow night, okay? So I love you all, and I mean that. So take care of yourself and love each other. Be sweet to each other, okay? We'll talk soon.